I'm going to answer 3 short questions. What is men's work? What is an awakened alpha? And what is in it for you to join such a program? So, what is men's work? Well, and why did I get into it? So, back in 2014, I was at an awesome event in Thailand, ironically called Awesomeness Fest. It was probably about 60% women to 40% men. And what I realised within the weeks and months that followed, I'd kept in touch on social media, but these women was going off to priestess training, to goddess retreats, to these really awesome women's circles and all this training just for women. And part of me was thinking, what? Women are already kind of quite advanced beings, absolutely, and now they're even raising the vibration even higher. What is it that men can be doing? And that really sparked my curiosity and got me attention. And it wasn't until a few years later, synchronistically, I bumped into a beautiful guy who just done a men's container, and he said, "Oh, I can't really share much about it, but you should go." And I went, and I really loved that. And just that brotherhood, that support. There was something like about maybe 30 men who was actually going through the training, but beautifully there was 30 plus men who were supporting it. It really was a beautiful container, and from there I've done a lot more men's work. I've worked with some beautiful coaches and really got to discover myself as a man, to awaken those aspects of myself, those shadows, to really sort of like stop being a victim and lacking confidence and blaming the world, to actually taking that full responsibility, that accountability, that presence. So that's in a nutshell of how I got into men's work. What is an awakened alpha? Well, awakened alpha is somebody that shows up with passion, with presence, strong presence, with that potency and power. Yeah, absolutely. We can talk about power and dominance in the way that we take, but actually, that power is that energy, it's that vibrancy, it's that radiance, it's that confidence, it's being able to claim your sovereignty without bullying, taking, grabbing. It really is about that discernment. It's the archetypes of things like the king, magician, warrior, and lover. That's standing in that sovereignty. Using that discernment, using the blessing, using the appreciation and the gratitude. So there's lots of these elements weaved into the Awakened Alpha program, and what do you get? So what I've talked about so far, the hundreds of thousands that I've spent on personal development, the amount of men's containers that I've actually been to or actually staffed or actually run myself. So there's a whole wealth of knowledge there. And the Awakened Alpha is yes, again, using that alpha term, it is that power, that presence, that potency, that passion. And it's awakening all those shadow elements of yourself. It's being able to be in a container where with other men, you're realising that there is similarities. We do want to grow in our own ways. We do want to be accountable. We do want to be doing this work. And so this programme is formatted in such a way, it's over 8 weeks. There's weekly calls. I'm facilitating most of them. There is just an odd 1 or 2 group-led check-in. But there will be a beautiful WhatsApp group where there will be every single day, we'll be doing some kind of check-in, there'll be some kind of challenge, there'll be some kind of sharing, there'll be some kind of daily reflection. So there's quite a commitment to actually step into this power. But 8 weeks, 56 days of really sort of like being in thatness, it's going to have that ongoing effect. And again, building this container of brothers, we're always going to be there for each other. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you've worked with women before, please do share this with other men that you think might benefit. Or if you're a female watching this and you know some men who could really benefit from this kind of work, please do share. So the link is going to be below of how to actually join the program and some further information. And I will see you very soon.